Hello there everyone, welcome to another Italian pronunciation video. This time for the first song of the Tre Ariette by Bellini, the little arias, called Il fervido desiderio or Quando, verrà, quel. We will explore some ideas to help you get started on singing more precise Italian and also discuss the proper open and closed vowels and other hidden non-written Italian pronunciation codes such as phrasal doubling and assimilation. Before we do that, please direct your attention to the description of this video below. If you'd like to support my work, I have a Patreon option, a Subscribe Star option, a PayPal option, also crypto option. So head on over there to support my work. Also, there are links to my various websites of interesting things underneath there, and also my Facebook fan page. So give me a visit and a like if you have a moment. Also, most importantly, I will leave the text of the video in the description below so you can follow along, and it'll be written out with my system of just showing what is not phonetic in the Italian, such as open and closed E's, phrasal doubling, assimilation. If you're new to those concepts, by the end of this video you should have a pretty good grasp of what I'm talking about. So what we'll do first is we'll go through line by line and then break it down word by word in a lot of detail. So here first, let's read it line by line, and what I will do is I will read it sort of in the time of speaking, but also in the time of singing. So here we go. Quando verrà quel dì, che rriveder potrò, quel che l'amante cor tanto desia. Quando verrà quel dì, che in sen t'accoglierò, bella fiamma d'amor, anima mia. So I went very, very slowly and I elongated lots and lots and lots of syllables, right? So that's very exaggerated the way I spoke, right? It is not in the rhythm of actual speech, but in the rhythm of how you would sing it. So one of the big differences in lyric Italian versus spoken Italian is that you must distort the time to fit things over certain notes and to be clean. Okay, so now let's go through it word by word. So the first word is quando. So how is that? How do we break it down? So first of all, QU in Italian is like a KW. If you look at it in the IPA, that's what the symbols are. Now, how is that different from English? Well, first of all, the hard ka sound is not as unvoiced as English. So what does that mean? If I were to do with a heavy American accent, I would say quando. So W would be down on lower in my mouth, and the K would have lots of air going through it. Now Italian is closer to the voiced G, right? So if you think about your consonants in pair, every single consonant comes in a pair of voiced and unvoiced. So the voiced version of K is G, right? So if you practice quando, not quando. You see the difference with all of that air going through the K. So what we do is we take the voiced and we find the point where it's unvoiced. And right at that spot, right on the border, is where we sing it. Quando. Now, it makes a much more healthy jaw motion for singing. Quando versus quando, where I smile and bite, right? Does that make a difference? Quando. I'm exaggerating now. I'm almost to the G. Quando. You see? So here's the other thing. The W is so low in the palate in English. So if you think of a W and you think of American English, now you're going to go quando, way down there, right? And then the Italian is like QU and actually like GU, right? Gu. I'm not saying to sing G, but just to practice G. And think about a. Quando, way up here, quando, instead of quando down there. So it's almost as if your face is tilted this way, right? Quando. Now it goes by so fast that your audience just hears a W, right? Because it's a semi-vowel. But to practice, you can actually linger on the U. So I hope that helps you. So now the next thing is the ah vowel, right? So the ah in A in Italian is always ah. It doesn't make anything else. It doesn't neutralize. It doesn't harmonize, right? So it's like the ah in father. Now the N goes into the D, like this. Quando. So it buzzes the bones on your face and it engages your vocal cords, right? So quando. And the reason is that an N touching a consonant will often double, right? So that's technically a double N, right? As you do that. So do, right? Here's the other thing. In English, we say do, right? So there's like that duh with air. In Italian, there's none of that. Quando, do. It's very sharp, and it's not my it's not my desire to make you actually back away from your consonants. Your consonants are very sharp in Italian. It's just they're not as aspirated as in English. Okay, so now the O is a closed O. O, right? And it does not go to an oo as it does in American English. So here's the idea. Vowels in Italian do not harmonize. What do I mean by that? Well, in English, there's usually a glide. So if I would say do in English, my jaw would slide around and I would go to an oo. But in Italian, it just stays on the O. O, right? And it's like the O in Joe, right? If you want to yell Joe, but you don't go Joe, you just do the first O and you stop. Now, all final vowels in Italian will do that. They will not harmonize, they will not have a glide. So this is the best way, first of all, to get away from your accent, right? Is to think about that. The jaw staying and not compromising. Going on, verrà. So double R goes like this. Not down there, but up. In the space of whatever the vowel is you've just said, right? So the first E is a closed E or a small E, right? And that again is like the word hey in English, but without the E. When we do in English, we say hey, and we go to an E. And we compromise that vowel, or we harmonize, or we glide, however you want to think about it. Your jaw will move in English. In Italian, it does not. Hey, right? So in this case, if you think verrà, okay? So the idea is that unstressed vowels in Italian are closed, right? So if you see an E or an O in Italian, and it's not on the accent of the word, it's going to be A or O. How you sing it is your business within your own technique, right? So you don't want to mess your voice up. So the idea of bel canto is the vowel never compromises the beauty of your voice, but your voice never compromises the beauty of the vowel, right? So the audience always hears the vowel exactly the way it should be, right? What you do is your business and your vocal technique. So verrà, the accent is on the last syllable in this word, so the E is closed. Okay, going on. Quel. So we've already had quando, so we know how to do QU, and in this case it's like, hey, quel, right? So again, you don't want to sing a small E when it's a closed E. You want it to be a nice, beautiful A, right? So quel, it's not quel, right? It's quel, like hey. Di is the poetic word for day in Italian. Di, and it has an accent. It is not to be confused with the preposition of, di, does not have the accent on the I, right? Do not go to Italy and wish somebody a good day using this word. It's poetic. People will laugh at you. The modern word is giorno, right? So D, you only see it in old Italian, right? So D-I, D. Next, you have K, right? Again, you have lots of hard ka sounds like K, right? Where you're going to use the G voiced, and then you're going to slowly bring it into the unvoiced, right? In this word, K, it is a closed E. Che rriveder. Notice that all the E's in this are A. Oh, E, A, right? So when you have three vowels or three syllables in an Italian word, you can practice just the vowels. So here's the other concept. In English, when we get expressive, we start to talk on the consonants like that. Italians get expressive and they start to do vowels instead, right? So the vowels. So when you're looking at an Italian word, you're on the inside of the vowels looking out, right? When you're singing an English word, you're hitting the consonants from outside of the word. In Italian, you're inside the word. So you think about rriveder, you're inside the word. E, A. That's where you are, right? So you practice that. E, A. Rriveder. And then you don't compromise. Notice that the R at the beginning of this word rolls a little bit, and then the R at the end of the word rolls. The reason is that the last R follows the rule for R. So R will roll if it's end of a word and it touches nothing, or if it's the end of the word and it touches a consonant. If an R is surrounded by vowels, it will then flip. Okay? Now, the one at the beginning of the word is surrounded by vowels, except for it's preceded by a strong, what is known as a strong monosyllable. So a strong monosyllable occurs in Italian and causes what's called a phrasal doubling. Okay? So the word K is a strong monosyllable. There are a list of strong monosyllables in Evelina Colorni's Singer's Italian book. You might have had it in your diction class. You might check it out. So towards the end of the book, the last 4 pages, there is a list of all the words that cause phrasal doublings. K is one of them. The word D is actually one of them for the poetic word for day. So when you see these words, the next word will start with a phrasal doubling. And in this case, the R will roll in rriveder. So also, I made a video. I'll link it in the description, so you can check it out. It's all about phrasal doubling. If you want to check that out, save yourself the trouble of going finding the colorni. So I go through all the words that cause phrasal doublings. Next is the word potrɔ. So all of the future tense ends in a strong O, and that strong O is accent on the last syllable, and the O is open. We write open O in IPA by the broken circle. So the first O is like Joe, right? Potrɔ. Now, I am exaggerating, right? The difference between these two vowels is not that great in speech, right? And also when you sing, you just have to give the essence that the first vowel is closed. You have to give the essence that the last vowel is open. So it's potrɔ, right? So first vowel is closed, second vowel is open. The R rolls. Why? Because it touches the T, right? Now, let's talk about T in Italian. In English, we have air. Now, I'm exaggerating. You don't always say that, but you say things like true, right? And lots of air. In Italian, it's like it's like saying a D. So if you think about the voiced version, these are the dental consonants, da, ta, right? So if you think da, ta, and the more you go towards unvoiced, ta, that's the one you don't want in Italian with the air, ta. You want the one that's closer to da, ta, potrɔ. Does that make sense? Okay, going on, we've already had quel, we've had K, and you see K is up to its work again, making the L in l'amante double. Now, let's talk about the difference. M's, N's, and L's double by phonation. right? So double L is L, where your vocal cords go. So I say quel. You see that double L. Now that's really exaggerated, right? When you sing, you're not going to double it that much. I'm just doing it for the demonstration. Quel, right? So now, this is a very good word, amante, for single M and double N, right? So you have to do a single M and a double N. Well, what is a mistake we can make? L'amante. See, I doubled the M, and that's wrong. So what's the difference? I don't allow for single M, I don't allow my lips to phonate, to vibrate. Amante versus amante. So as soon as I go even for a millisecond, it's double M. Now, on the contrary, the N touches a T, so that doubles. Amante, right? So the coordination of single M, double N. Amante. You see? So the mistake is always, I hear, is amante, where both are double. Wrong, right? So now you have to do double L, single M, double N. Quel. Okay, you can practice that. That's a very, very good combination. Now notice another thing, that the ahs do not compromise. Ah, a. The other thing always to do is to practice your vowels. Kelamante. Okay, so C-O-R, heart, is cor, right? In its full form, it's core. Notice that the R in it, when you see it in its full form, flips. Why? Because it's surrounded by vowels, right? Core. So notice that the R is rolled when it's in its shorter form, because the R is usually going to touch a consonant, right? So this R, core, and open O. Okay, going on, tanto. So notice that the T's are like D's, right? Dando, tanto, right? So you want to get the T's as sharp as possible, but keep them towards the voice for singing. So we already know that the N doubles going into the T. Desia. So we have a semi-vowel here, the E and the A, but desia, the I is actually a semi-vowel, and yet it's accented in this case. There are different ones in Italian. There's sometimes when they're silent, like ja, right? But in this case, you have desia, still a semi-vowel, written the same way, I think, in IPA, right? But now having you have to actually make up a note for the A, and you have to hang on to the E. Notice that the E is closed, and that the S is voiced. So S comes into the sibilants, they come into two forms again, voiced, z, and unvoiced, s, right? One other thing, when you speak, you can say desia. You don't have to be so careful about where the Z is. In singing, you have to be very careful to separate desia, that the Z is completely on the second note you sing, desia, and that the A is long leading into it. So that's another way that singing changes the rhythm of speech, as what I was talking about in the introduction to this aria. Okay, going on. So, quando verrà quel di is exactly the same the second time, but this time it's che insane, right? So, you have the A and the E together, and that all becomes one word, che insane. It's like it's three words, but when you say it all together, it comes together. S-E-N-O is seno, closed E, seno, sane, right? Again, you want to think, hey, Joe, for your closed E and O, because you want to be very, very careful to not exaggerate the closedness of them. Okay, so now we have the biggest word of the piece, ta cogliero. right? I did it very slowly. So let's break that down. So you have a double K. Now, T's, K's, some of the harder consonants, they double by stopping phonation. So M's, N's, and L's double by continuing phonation, and then T's, K's, and other hard consonants stop by stopping phonation. So what do I mean? Well, do I do two K's when I do this double C here? Do I do two K sounds? So I do takolye. No, it's too much, right? And it's kind of ugly. And it stops. It sounds too staccato, right? So what exactly do I do? Well, I go ta, I go up to the K, and then I don't say it. Ta, cogliero. Again, the space was exaggerated, but you see exactly the motion. Go up to the K, don't say it. You're only saying one K in effect, right? We hear we think of, like, we say, oh, that's a double K, right? It's a double consonant. We say this all the time, but it's not a double consonant. You're only saying one K. It's the space, the stop in phonation that makes the double. Ta, cogliero, right? So now GLI is li, right? So lie. So what do? You do L and then Y-I semivowel, right? Lie. That's what it is in slow motion. So you can practice it all different ways. You can start on the A, do backwards, right? A, yay, right? Semivowel, yay, Y-I-A, right? Yay. And then the L. Yay. That's what happens on that one little symbol, like one little syllable, right? And you have to do that in a millisecond, right? Split second. Yay. You have to have everything. The L, the Y-I, and then the A. Liero. So that, again, in the future tense, the O is open and it's in the accented position at the end of the word. T'accoglierò, right? T'accoglierò. Now, I did it in the time of singing where I'm exaggerating the ah vowel before the double K. And then I'm trying to keep everything that's single consonant, everything that's double consonant. That's a very good word to practice. Going on. Bella, right? So if you're from the north of Italy, this is not an open E, but it is in the rest of Italy. Bella, right? Double L. Bella. We already know how to do double L, right? Phonation. Fiamma. We know how to do double M too, right? And then you have d'amor. See? So very, very, very good practice. Because now you have double L, double M. Bella, fiamma, and then single M. D'amore, d'amore, right? So the word for love, oe, closed though, d'amore, d'amor. How many times do I hear d'amor, double M, right? If you're from Naples, you can do double M there, right? But not the rest of Italy. D'amor. Okay, going on. Anima. This is a very good word for practicing single N and single M, right? Because again, I hear anima, right? Maybe not both in one word, but one or the other is most often mangled, right? In Italian. This is how you can mangle Italian. By doubling consonants that aren't doubled. Anima. How do we practice? Just practice vowels. Ah, E, ah, right? First your vowels, and then make it smooth and legato. Ah, yeah, anima, right? And now possessive pronoun mia. So possessive pronouns again are semivowels, but the lion's share is on the first vowel. Mia, tuo, suo. Okay? So words like that, you have to make an extra grace note for the ah. Mia, anima mia. Okay, well, I hope that helps. We went through lots of detail, and you've made it to the end of another video. And if you feel you've benefited from my work and you have saved some money, why not head over to Patreon or subscribe star to support my work. There you may donate as little as a couple dollars a month, and your support is very appreciated and helps me very much in the creation of new videos. Also, you may support me by subscribing, sharing, and liking the videos. Sharing especially helps YouTube recognize that this channel is relevant. Remember that nothing takes the place of a great live coaching, so why not show off your new Italian pronunciation skills to your coach or teacher? Your coach or teacher will be very happy to be able to now spend more time on music rather than pronunciation. Well, again, thanks again for watching. Don't forget in the comment or ask me for, I always take requests for videos. If you're confused about something, of course, just write me a question. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.